Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pep Fernandez from the Inland Sports Show. Just a quick programming note. In the next couple of weeks and months, we're really going to put a focus on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. We got several thousand subscribers. We have over 1 million views. We're uploading new videos each and every week. So we're really going to point you guys, everyone who follows the Inland Sports Show, to the Inland Sports YouTube channel. We will still post on Instagram and Twitter. We're going to post a lot of pictures, maybe some shorter videos, but we really want to put an emphasis on the YouTube channel. So here's what we need from you guys. If you haven't done so already, make sure you are subscribed to the Inland Sports YouTube channel and give us a big thumbs up when you watch our videos. We'd really appreciate it. If you've subscribed, maybe tell your teammates, other kids at school, other coaches on your coaching staff, your parents, your grandparents. We'd really appreciate the more subscribers, the better. So subscribe and give us a like. And if you want to take it even further, there's now a thanks button at the bottom as well if you'd like to take your support to the next level and make a small donation so we can continue to bring you great sports coverage here in the Inland Empire. And what is up, everybody? It's Pep Fernandez. It's Friday night. It's your Friday night football recap as we go over a bunch of highlights and scores from week 2 of the high school football season. We've got about 11, maybe even 12 games, if we can squeeze them in, and a bunch of scores to pass along. Just a quick programming note. Still working behind the scenes to bring you Sports Weekly Live on IEMG, and we hope that happens because it allows us to have a lot more resources to make this show bigger and better for you guys. More scores, more highlights, more people involved. But until then, we're going to do like this abbreviated Friday night version, but still, 11, 12 games, that's pretty good. And we had some huge games coming up here in week number 2. We're going to go to the land of the Big 8 in a second. Centennial against Mater Dei, Norco against Rancho Cucamonga. We had Beaumont take in on Summit. That was another great game. Shout out to Mitch McClellan and KMET 1490 AM. They had the game on the old radio dial. In fact, they'll have the University of Redlands season opener tomorrow night against George Fox, so make sure you check that out as well. All right, but let's get to some football. What we're going to do is we're going to do about 6 or 7 highlights from different games. Then we're going to take a quick commercial break. I got to download one more game and a couple more scores, and then we'll finish up the show. So that's how it's going to work out tonight at least. So the big one, actually there was a couple big ones, but the big one, biggest game in the southern section, the Inland Empire, the state, the nation, on earth, is, if you want to put it, the biggest high school football game on earth, Centennial and Mater Dei this week. This was a game that was on Bally Sports, courtesy them for the highlights here. But Centennial trying to get a little payback on the Monarchs. Remember going back to the D1 semifinals last year, it was a close game, 21-16, and the Huskies really let them off the hook. Centennial could have, should have won that game in the playoffs to punch their ticket at the CIF Southern Section D1 Championship. Instead, it was the Monarchs advancing in the rematch this time at Centennial High School. Let's take a look at some of those highlights. And again, courtesy of Bally Sports, they had the game tonight. All right, so let's go out to the Evil Empire, as we like to say here in the IE, Centennial and Mater Dei. That is big-time quarterback Izzy Carter, 83 yards on that big-time touchdown run. So things starting well for the Huskies, answering the early punch from Mater Dei on that long touchdown run by Izzy Carter. But man, Mater Dei is just absolutely loaded, right? Captain Obvious over here. But they really put it on to build a 29-7 lead in the first half. This time it's going to be Nathaniel Frazier somehow busting through that traffic, goes in for a Mater Dei touchdown. And then later it's going to be big-time quarterback Elijah Brown. Check out the TD toss on this one. Again, Monarchs led 29-7 at halftime. They go on to win by a final of 43-20 against Centennial. Don't be surprised if we see these two teams again down the road in the playoffs. It's usually Centennial against Mater Dei or Bosco in the D1 semifinals. Now, the other big game tonight, Norco taking on Rancho Cucamonga. And this game was also on Prep Zone. I think it was Bally Sports, actually, to be exact. Let's take you out there to Norco High School. And Tyler Dudden, new QB in there, finds Grant Gray, the baseball star, goes in for the touchdown there. He's also a big-time, obviously, football star as well, number 1, Grant Gray. Then later, it's going to be Connor Thomas. And check out the effort. Dudden hits Thomas and lunges across the goal line. He's in. That's a touchdown for We Are Norco. And then later, it's going to be Dudden to Marquise Carrillo. Norco goes on to beat Rancho Cucamonga. Final score of 26-14. A nice bounce-back win for Norco after falling to Santa Margarita in the previous week. So Norco gets a win. Centennial falls in these couple of big Titanic games that we had in week number 2. All right, an all-Inland Empire battle here, at least in our coverage area, Beaumont and Summit. And we knew this game was going to be a good one. Our guy Ernesto Loera was out there covering the game for us, and there was a lot of action in the first half between the Skyhawks and the Cougars. And again, this game was also on the radio, 1490 AM KMET. You're also the home of the University of Redlands football. So let's do this. Let's crank up the Beaumont versus Summit highlights. Hold on one second, and here we go. Oh yeah, get fired up for this one. To the highlights. Brian Calderon, number 26, transferred from Jurupa Hills, now at Summit. Big-time TD run for the Skyhawks. Here comes the two-point conversion for Summit. Now, you're going to notice the theme here in the first half was just a real back-and-forth battle. And but Summit there getting 8 points. And then it's going to be Armando Cuellar for Beaumont. They answer Cuellar. Long touchdown run for the Cougars. Now, we talk so much about Chris Cooper, big-time quarterback for Beaumont. They love to throw the football. But don't sleep on Armando Cuellar. Great running back there for Beaumont. Gets the touchdown. And then we're going to go with Calderon again for Summit. He runs in another touchdown. And it was 16-13 Skyhawks at that point. But it would be a lot of Beaumont after that. Here comes another long Summit run for the Skyhawks first. And in for the touchdown. So at that point, 23-13. Remember that, 23-13, because that in the second quarter will be the final points in the game for Summit. They add the two-point conversion. So 23-13, but it was all Beaumont from there. Beaumont goes on to win 34-23. Yes, let's see. Let me do the math real quick. That is 21 points unanswered. You saw the pick six, and there is after this Summit run here, they would come up empty on the ensuing drive for the Skyhawks, but a nice run. But we're going to see one more Beaumont touchdown here at the end. And it would be it. 34-23, Beaumont over Summit in a really good close game. And again, Summit led 23-13, and Beaumont storms back big time. 34-23 the final, 21 unanswered there for the Beaumont Cougars and Jeff Steinberg. They are now 3-0. And next week, they got the War for the Wheel. They're going to take on, well, Coach Steinberg doesn't say the actual name, the B word, Banning, down the road. He says that team down the freeway, Beaumont versus Banning, War for the Wheel next week. All right, got to give a shout-out to my guy Nathan Godinez, our guy on the scene covering Kaiser up in the high desert, taking on Sultana. Beautiful sunset up there. Back and forth game. It was another close one. My boy Billy Cardosi. Again, my phone has been blowing up. All those coaches who hit me up on game night. Thank you guys so much, and for the stats as well. I will read these. I'm trying to go through all of them. Coach Cardosi said, man, they had this one. They lost it on the last play of the game. Sultana won 29-27 in this game. And, man, Kyle Tyler did not play in this game. That's probably worth noting for Kaiser. Coach Cardosi says he'll probably be out about a month, 4 weeks or so for Kaiser. So hopefully he'll be back in time for league, because they're going to have some tough league games. Summit, Jurupa Hills, there's going to be some big-time battles in that Arrowhead Athletic Conference, that top league. So it should be some good games coming up. I think it's certainly use Kyle Tyler in that contest. Big thanks to Coach Cardosi for hitting me up. 29-27, Sultana over Kaiser in that game. All right, now let's go to, Silverado taking on Citrus Valley in this one. And shout out to my guy, Carl Martinez. You're the boy. You're my man. You're my boy, Carl. You're the man is what I'm trying to say as I'm fishing to find my shot sheet over here. Let's go to the highlights. Citrus Valley. Man, they've got a great quarterback in Hunter Herrera. Now, there's about 4 minutes of highlights on this one. What I do want to point out is Hunter Herrera and Brockton Liam did their thing, as you would expect, right? But we're going to make sure we have all the highlights on the YouTube channel. In fact, they're already there on this play. Liam in at quarterback, runs it in for Citrus Valley. Big win against Rancho Verde last week, and they turn around and pick up another big win against Silverado in this one. Let me see. Let me find the final score of Citrus Valley. And it was Citrus Valley 51 and Silverado 20, the final in that one. And again, can't run through all the highlights right now. Oh, but I do want to show that one. The big defensive lineman. Oh, man, I don't have his name in front of me. I think it's Steve Bannon. I want to say I might have that wrong. But, yeah, the big defensive lineman. The pass was tipped up. He came down with it, rumbles in for the touchdown. I'm glad we snuck that one in there. But again, all the highlights are right now on the YouTube channel between Citrus Valley and Silverado. But it was CV, the Blackhawks, coming away with a 51-20 victory. All right, so Citrus Valley won a CBL team. Let's go to another one. Yucaipa taking on Temescal Canyon tonight. And a shout out to the defense. You know, we love the touchdowns. We put a lot of touchdowns on the show. They usually, get all the attention. But a shout out to the Yucaipa defense tonight, tossing the shutout against Temescal Canyon. Let's take you out there to hashtag Yucktown, as they like to call it. Let's see. Do I got it? Let's see. There we go to the highlights. See, that's why we need to be in the studio, man. It's so much easier to have help. Temescal Canyon, Yucaipa, 20-0 at halftime. Yucaipa had that lead and trying to hold on to it, and they would with that great defense. Jace Pastilli, number 3, flying into your living room right about now, brings down the QB, who's really good, and his pants were down. Look at that. He wasn't sagging on purpose, just flying around on defense. And that Yucaipa defense had the Temescal Canyon QB on the run all night. Nick Juarez, 25, was a big problem. So was Will McHargue. And Yucaipa, again, shut out tonight. Final score was 28-0. Weird play here. The reception, the ball squirts loose, bouncing around. Nobody there for Yucaipa. Recovered, though, by Temescal Canyon. But on that drive, they would get nothing. Final score of 28-20. 28-0, excuse me. So first win of the season for Yucaipa, and Temescal Canyon, who's had some really good seasons last couple of years. They're going to drop to 0-3 on the season now. All right. Okay, let's do one more game, and then I think that we're going to take a quick break and get these scores on here for you. Let's go to, Liberty taking on Hemet last night. My guy, Obi-Wan Jabroni, Anthony Crossman, hooked me up with the highlights here on that one. And going into the game, this is one of the games I was excited about week number 2. Two teams that are 2-0. Good to see Hemet back on track in Liberty. Again, no seniors. The new kid on the block down there in Winchester, picking up some good early wins. And can they do it against a very tough Hemet team, again, on the road against the Bulldogs? So let's take you down there and check out some of the highlights. And Hemet would score first after a turnover. That would make it 7-zip Bulldogs on top, but here come the Rambling Bison. Up the middle, Anthony Ruelas in for the touchdown. And at that point, Liberty led by a score of 13-7. Bulldogs would respond, a nice return, and that would put Hemet on Liberty's 20-yard line, and that would be a touchdown there. Ties the game at 13. They did not get the extra point there after the Hemet score. So we go back with Liberty. Andre Skelton scores the next one for the Bison, makes it 20-13 at that point. And how about a little bit of defense? Caden Veracruz, the sack here for Liberty. And then it's going to be back on offense with the Bison. You know Coach Broach loves the ground game, right? Here comes Ruelas going in for another score. And all of a sudden now, it went from 20-13 to 34-13. Liberty starting to pull away. Here's a strong run coming up by Andre Skelton. This would set up a Bison touchdown, and we're going to finish things off in just a moment with an Eddie Smith pick six. And here we go right here. Liberty goes on to the big win against Hemet. This is a Thursday night special, 34-27. So Liberty built that lead and then held on to that lead against Hemet. So now Liberty, again, no seniors, 3-0 on the year. So maybe that Liberty versus San Jacinto Mountain Pass League game will be something down the road. That Coach Broach doesn't lose a lot of league games. We already knew that. We knew what he did with Heritage in the Sunkiss League. So off to a great start here with Liberty. All right, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 or maybe 5 games still to get to you and some scores. So let's take a quick commercial break here on our Friday Night Football recap. We'll kind of gather our thoughts here behind the scenes, and we will be right back with more high school football on Inland Sports.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down, see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
What's up, everybody? We are back with this guy. This is Coach Ray Bass, the Boost Man here at Boost Performance Center. My name is Pep Fernandez. We've got another gridiron question for the Boost Man. And Coach, regardless of the sport, boys and girls, they just want to get stronger, right, for their individual sports. But specifically talking about girls right now, what can female athletes do to build strength? And what's maybe the biggest misconception about girls trying to add muscle?
Well, I think the biggest misconception that exists with girls trying to add muscle is that they're going to get buff. It's a fact that girls are going to get the same benefits from a well-rounded strength development program as boys, but they possess far less testosterone, which is a growth hormone, than boys do, which makes the idea of being buff just non-existent. It's not going to happen. So will they have an athletic body type? Oh, absolutely. But they're not going to get buff. And they benefit and add lean muscle faster, just as much as boys do. Oh, absolutely. We do everything in case.
You heard it here first from the Boost Man, Ray Bass, and Pepper. That was the gridiron question. If you have a question, Coach, over here for gridiron question, make sure you hit us Boost. What's up, guys? Pep Fernandez from the Inland Sports Show. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for your support over the last several years. In fact, we're going on year 8 of the Inland Sports. It's certainly changed and evolved over. You guys have been along for the entire journey. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. We're on social media, so if you're already following us or subscribing, great. But you can also your teammates, your people at school, your family, your friends. There's the Inland Sports YouTube channel, approaching 2 million views. We got several thousand subscribers. We appreciate it. And make sure you share with other folks who might not be subscribing. Same goes for Twitter. We're on Twitter as well. And if you're looking for immediate results, breaking news, we post in short. Check us out on Twitter. That's Inland_sports on Twitter. And we're also on Facebook. Yeah, we're still doing Facebook. In fact, we live stream the Inland Sports Show on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, you can check it out there live on Wednesday nights at 6:05 p.m. We're also on the gram, the IG. If you want to see pictures and shorter videos from a lot of the games and events that we go to, you can check it out on Instagram. So if you support us by following along on social media, thank you so much. And if you'd like to take that level, Inland Sports also has a Venmo account. If you'd like to financially support the show, you appreciate the service we provide to the IE, you can do that as well. Again, this is just to say thank you to all you guys out there who the Inland Sports Show, who watch the Inland Sports Show each and every week. Thank you guys so much, and the best is yet to come. All right, welcome back, everybody. Listen, we still have more video coming in right now. I'm trying to do as much as I can behind the scenes here, but let's do this. Let's do about 4 more games. Then we'll take another very quick commercial break. We've got a couple more games on the way in, and then we'll go over the score. So this brief show actually got really long all of a sudden. We'll have about 13 games tonight. But let's go, let's see, back to the highlights. And let's see, this was a game that we had on Teen Vision TV 16. I had the honor of calling the game with Tim Hatch. It was the Rancho Verde taking on Etiwanda. And it was kind of like looking in the mirror between these two teams. Two teams that have had a lot of success in the past. They've got 2 great coaches, Baez and Zomal, of course, right? But just really haven't put it together so far this year. Both teams came into this game 0-2 on the season. And, you know, for Coach Eric Zomal, trying to get his first win as the head coach of the Mustangs. So let's take you, again, from Teen Vision TV 16. Jaden Moss, running back for Etiwanda, had himself a game, runs in for the touchdown. And McDowell, the other running back for the Eagles, little bubble screen action, and he is gone. Goes in for the score. So it was Etiwanda rolling off a couple early touchdowns to build a little bit of a Rancho Verde. There in the throw to Landrum in for the touchdown there for Etiwanda. The only Rancho Verde touchdown in this game was that one right there. Quarterback Landrum. Brian finds a Marion Orange for the touchdown. It was actually a nice touchdown play right there for Rancho Verde, but just too much Etiwanda in this one. Some great defense though. I love the Rancho Verde linebackers. I can't name them all, but especially Ronnie Jones and Johnny Zomal. There was a bright spot for Rancho Verde flying around, making some big plays, causing fumbles. Rancho Verde had a shot at the end zone right before halftime, but it was picked around the goal line, so it was 7 at the break, and then just more Etiwanda in the second half. The Eagles go on to a big win against Rancho Verde. Again, this was Thursday night. It was on Teen Vision TV 16, and it was 35-7 in that one. All right, now let's go to, let's see. Like I said, we've got about 5 or 6 more games to get to, and we're going to take one more very quick commercial break in just a moment because we've got 2 games coming in right now. Man, life in the big city, I suppose, right? Eisenhower against Palm Springs. So this one, by popular demand, I had several people from Eisenhower saying, come on, man, come and check out Ike. Come and check out the Eagles. So we did tonight, taking on Palm Springs. So let's start out there at Eisenhower. And listen, got some Oregon Duck vibes, man, with those colors for Eisenhower. Kind of a brighter green. So Oregon Duck flavor out there for Ike taking on Palm Springs. And this would have a dramatic finish. We get, first half highlights, but there was a wild finish in this one. We'll start with Palm Springs here in the highlights. They're on offense, but the interception by Jacoby Pointer Caldwell for the Eags, and a big return as well. Now, the interception would stand, but there was a flag on the play, so the touchdown did not, but the interception did. So the Eagles go on offense. Quarterback Daniel Ruiz to Deshaun. I hope I got his name right. Deshaun. He goes in for the score there for Eisenhower, makes it 7-0 early on. So now Palm Springs facing 4th down when Javen Kapler goes in for the touchdown. What a run by Kapler for the Indians, and that ties the game at 7 apiece. Now it's Eisenhower back on offense. Ruiz to Pointer Caldwell, circles back up for a couple more yards. But here comes a big INT. Ryan Smith for Palm Springs on the other end of that comes up with an interception for the Indians. And then it's going to be, how about some Eisenhower defense? Rapai Ave, the tackle here for Eisenhower, but you could not stop the tribe on this one. The Indians come through later on this drive. It's Kapler with another great touchdown run coming right into your living room, crossing the goal line there for the touchdown. And Palm Springs takes a 13-7 lead. How about some more Eisenhower defense? They did a really good job against that shifty Kapler and the Palm Springs offense. Taylor Love bringing down the running back, pinned up near their own goal line now. And then it's going to be Lewis Simpson, another tackle for a loss for Eisenhower. Eagles would get the ball back, trying to get another touchdown before halftime, but another interception for Palm Springs right there near the end zone. That's Braden Hapner with the INT. Now, Eisenhower would win this game 27-21, and here's how I understand it, and hopefully this is correct. Palm Springs had a chance to win the game at the very end. I don't think it was overtime. Maybe it was overtime, but they had a chance to win right there at the goal line, and they fumbled the football. Eisenhower scooped it up and took it all the way back for the game-winning score. So it was either the last play of the game or it was overtime, but Eisenhower won 27-21 on the last play, right when it looked like Palm Springs was going to win it. Eisenhower got it. So what are you going to do? So if you have that video, please hit me up. I'd love to see it. Eisenhower getting that big win tonight. The Eagles now 3-0. All right, let's see. What else do we got here? San Gorgonio on the road at Ontario. Let's check out these highlights here. And a big shout out to San G and their athletic department doing it big on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you guys give them a follow because they're always updating everybody about what's going on. That first touchdown there for the Spartans, that was quarterback Dominic Remus Rodriguez to Durante Evans for the first touchdown. Then it's going to be Remus Rodriguez to Fred Brown, and Durante Evans, he was all over the place, and so was Javen Sawyer coming up in your highlights. San Gorgonio would get their first of the season thanks to Evans and Remus Rodriguez and Sawyer. A big win for San G, doing it on the road at Ontario. 227, very high scoring in this one. Fred Brown had a great game as well for San G. Nice to see them get back on the winning track. They got a good class. I think they're going to be just fine when they get to league play. Another time that is Sawyer on the other end from Remus Rodriguez. So San G wins 52-27 against Ontario. All right, let's do one more game and then a quick commercial break so we can download the final highlights and scores that we got. And this one, we're going out to RHS, but it wasn't Redlands. It was Arrowhead Christian hosting San Bernardino tonight. So let's take you out there for that one.
Watching Inland Sports with Pep Fernandez.
All right, very good. Thank you, ladies. The Eagles cheer team. Let's go to the highlights. ACA would strike first. Touchdown there for the Eagles. San Bernardino would strike back, and you'll see the theme here. It was a real back-and-forth seesaw battle early on. San Bernardino getting a touchdown run here. Kind of hard to see from this distance. I think it's Xavier Alvarez, I want to say, going in for the score. But it was back and forth. That was a San Bernardino touchdown. And then a big San Bernardino run here. So the Cardinals were on the move. I think it's Alvarez again. But they would not finish on that drive because they're about to turn the ball over. Even though they're inside the red zone, close to the 10, for the turnover here. Great job by that Eagle defense to get the ball loose and scoop it up. So Cardinals come away with nothing. ACA led by 8 at that point. It was a 20-12 game. And then here for ACA, Lackey going in for the touchdown, and that's going to be followed up by a Wyatt Gruner touchdown for the Eagles. But the final score in this one, ACA was up, but the Cardinals came back. 38-34, Cardinal City getting the win against Arrowhead Christian tonight out there at Redlands High School. Congrats to the Cards. All right, let's see. That's it. Okay, that's it. So what we're going to do is take another quick commercial break here, and then when we come back, we're going to have highlights, I believe, from 2 more games, and then we'll go over all the scores tonight. So we won't be much longer, I promise. A very brief show trying to go over what's going on here in week number 2 of the high school football season. So stay right there. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes.
Is back here at the Performance Training Center here with the boot man himself, Coach Ray Bass. And Coach Bass, here's another grit question for you. Again, thanks for all the the parents out there, and maybe some athletes who are submitting questions for the Boost Man. The question this week is, if there's confusion or misconceptions maybe about children or youth getting into athletic training, what's maybe the biggest one of all, the biggest misconception?
The number one misconception that some people might have about athletic development consists of just practice and competing. There's not enough time dedicated to actual athletic development, adding lean muscle, getting faster, longer. You improve qualities, you're going to be your sport no matter what.
Regardless of the sport, right?
Regardless.
You all here at Boost?
Absolutely.
All right, that's the Boost Man, Ray Bass, and you can do it here at Performance Training. If you have a gridiron question for the Boost Man for a future video, make sure you hit the DMs on all their social media platforms. That is Boost Training.
thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
All right. We did it. I think we did it. We got 2 more videos we want to show you, and then we'll do the scores real quick. A big shout out to my guy, Saint Pepe, out there doing such a great job on Aquinas. Make sure you find him on social media, especially Instagram. Does such a great job documenting the Falcon season. He's done it for a bunch of years now. But our guy Pepe was out there. Aquinas taking on Xavier Prep tonight in week number 2 of the season. There's quarterback Dre Robles handing it off in for a Falcons touchdown. What you need to know is this. Aquinas won big time, 48-12, as you would expect. But now it sets up a huge game come next week, as Aquinas will play on the road, and I say on the road loosely because it's just up the street, to Cajon. Big time game. We've been waiting for that one for a long time. There is JoJo Solis, now a super sophomore for the Falcons. Had such a tremendous freshman year. Now he's back, and he's better than ever. And look at that effort there for an Aquinas Falcons highlight there again. 48-12. Aquinas wins tonight against Xavier Prep. But next week, man, that is the granddaddy of them all. Aquinas at Cajon. As we're about to look at the scores, Cajon lost by 1 to Williams Field of Gilbert, Arizona. Williams Field with local ties, coached by Steve Campbell. His dad was Gary Campbell, the legendary Norco coach. But Cajon and Williams Field from Arizona played tonight in Moore Park. And Cajon lost by 1. So we'll get to the scores in just a moment. And let me cue this one up. This is pretty exciting. So I got to give a shout out for this, because I was not expecting this score here. My boy Coach Starica at Redlands East Valley, he was at the Roosevelt game tonight. Roosevelt was taking on San Juan Hills, and Coach tells me that San Juan Hills had a chance to win the game with a field goal in regulation, but they could not convert, so this game would go to overtime, and then in OT against San Juan Hills. In fact, double overtime. Roosevelt and San Juan Hills in double overtime, and this is how it would finish. Roosevelt quarterback Nolan Ellison runs it in for the score, and it is game over. Roosevelt wins 37-31. That is a walk-off shot for the Mustangs and head coach Tommy Leach. Yeah, go nuts, everybody. Roosevelt wins 37-31 on that walk-off touchdown run from the QB Nolan Ellison. And big thanks to Coach Starica out there at Redlands East Valley for hooking it up. I appreciate it. Thank you. And again, be like Coach. If you got some good highlights and you want to hit us up and let us know about it, please send them my way. The email is inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. We're all over social media, so you can always drop in the DMs and let us know. Send us a link to the video. Send us the actual video. We'd love to see it. So thank you, Coach. I really do appreciate it. What a great win for Roosevelt and Tommy Leach out there. All right, so let's see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games tonight. I was planning for 9 or 10. We ended up getting 13 games. So that's really awesome. And again, thanks for everyone out there who helped tonight contribute to the show. Let's finish off with just a quick look at all the scores in the Inland Sports Show coverage area from Friday night, not including the Thursday night game. So this was the Friday night scores. And there we go. So we told you about Cajon and Williams Field. The Cowboys coming up one short. Redlands getting their first win of the season. They blank Citrus Hill 47-0. Ukaipa with a shutout win. You saw some of those highlights earlier. Beaumont and Summit. The Cougars stormed back 21 to answer to beat the Skyhawks. Mater Dei and Centennial, and the one right after that, Norco and Rancho Cucamonga. I saw highlights off the top from that one. And let's see, the San Juan Hills, Roosevelt game you just saw. Oh, King doubles up Paloma Valley. That's a nice win for King because the Wildcats were enjoying a real renaissance bounce-back season right under Coach Dilly. Santiago short at Capo Valley, 48-14. JW North, going back to the start of the season, or even, they lost to Oaks Christian in the playoffs last year, which was their first and only loss all of last year. Now the Huskies and Coach O.P. Vaipulu trying to get things going in the right direction. They lose to Chino Hills tonight 48-13, so they're 0-3 on the season. Murrieta Mesa over Riverside Poly 54-20. Congrats to Rams head coach Oscar McBride. A shootout up in the high desert. Murrieta Valley raced out in front. Tiger Bachmeyer had himself a game, but Apple Valley came back. They beat the Nighthawks 57-51. Vista Murrieta over Tesoro, 41-20 the final there. You just saw Aquinas beating Xavier Prep. Arroyo Valley losing to Granite Hills tonight from Apple Valley, 54-21. It's Harupa Hills losing on the road to Downey, 35-12. Grand Terrace has got a nice team. I got a feeling they might crack the top 25, the Boost top 25 this week. 33-14. Carter shuts out Fontana, 28-zip. Another win for Coach Joe Gerardo and the guys up on the mountain rim of the world, 42 Estancia zip. Colton over Roseman, 29-6. You saw that game, Eisenhower and Palm Springs, 27-21. A lot of action in the first half, and in the last play of the game, Eags win. Indio and Indian Springs, that game was canceled today. Indio with some COVID-related issues could not play tonight. So we'll see if Indian Springs can get something, not necessarily against Indio, but maybe another team out there needs a game during their bye week so they can get a 10-game regular season schedule. We'll see. San Bernardino edging Arrowhead Christian 38-34. Bloomington over Rubidoux 33-15. Ramona handles Valley View 42-6. On the Riverside TV game tonight, Campbell Hall 38, La Sierra 6. Rancho Mirage Talkwitz did not see the final score in that one, so you can go ahead and message us on social media if you got that one. Hey, congrats to Paris, 21-16 to Desert Hot Springs, and that was a nice win for the Panthers. I got to give a shout out to my guy, Coach Sotelo, blowing up my phone tonight. Let me know that the Panthers are now 2-0. He says his boy Leo Lopez, 2 touchdown passes. Diego Mayer with 128 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 tackles on defense. Congrats to Paris. 2-0 with a nice win tonight against DHS. Let's see, Orange Vista and Vista Del Lago. That is a solid win for the Coyotes against a very good Ravens team, 38-14. Canyon Springs holding off Yucca Valley, 26-21. And finally, Rancho Christian and Korean Lutheran, 26-14, the final in that one. All right, so let's see. Oh my gosh, I've got like 20 messages, and I see Jeff Gorham in the mix. And I know he's having a little sleepover tonight with Ghazal Hassan. So Jeff and Ghazal called the La Sierra game on Riverside TV tonight. And they will have tomorrow, the RCC season opener against Mount San Jacinto College, also on Riverside TV. So please make sure you check that one out. And I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that game was moved from noon to 6 p.m. because of the heat, and that game's at Ramona High School. So we got RCC season opener tomorrow night on Riverside TV. We got SBVC kicking off on the road at College of the Desert. And don't forget, University of Redlands against George Fox, Saturday night, 7 p.m. You can listen to it on KMET 1490 a.m. And Mitch and his guys always do such a great job. So make sure you check out the Bulldogs, who preseason picked to win the SCIAC. They're going to be really good again. So should be a lot of fun. All right, it's almost midnight. I got to get out of here. We went way too long, but again, 13 games in this show tonight, and that was with limited resources. As soon as we get Sports Weekly Live up and cranking, we'll have even more resources. We can expand the show, but we did pretty good tonight. Big thanks to all you out there who contributed it as well. Some of you guys sent us in video. We do appreciate it. Just trying to make sure we keep the IE up to date of what's going on in high school football. We love high school football here on the Inland Sports Show. So make sure if you're watching us live right now on YouTube, in fact, I'm going to go get on YouTube right now on my own phone. Make sure you're subscribed to the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Every time we post a video, make sure if you're watching it, you're giving it a like. That really does help us. We do appreciate it. I only see 9 likes right now. Come on, guys. I know there's more people watching. Give us a like, and then after this live video updates, and on all the videos you'll see on the Inland Sports YouTube channel, there's now a thanks button. So if you appreciate what we do, if you'd like to contribute and take that support to the next level, you can do that by clicking on that thanks button. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee anywhere you go. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great night. College football on Saturday locally and on the national picture as well. And appreciate you guys tuning in. And we'll do another football show next week, week number 3. We got some good ones coming up as well next week, including that big one between Cajon and Aquinas. My name is Pep Fernandez, and we will see you next time right here on Inland Sports. Good night, everybody.